Good morning, and thank you for joining this event. Before we move forward with today's proceedings, just a quick reminder on the housekeeping rules for the event today. This event is hosted on Microsoft Teams. Thus, mics for all the audiences are muted. We really want this to be a highly interactive session. So please post your questions in the chat facility. You can access this by hovering on the right top corner of the screen. Team Gold Medal shall be communicating during this event to the same channel under the featured sections. Who doesn't like prizes? Thus, we are conducting a quiz during this session. So please pay attention to the speakers to win exciting prizes at the end of the session. Polls shall be conducted at regular intervals. Please log on to Slido. The details are now on your screen. Please, while logging on, ensure that you mention your name and your agency name for us to identify you. Thank you once again for joining, and I hope you enjoy this session.
Good morning and a warm welcome to Gold Medal Let's Talk. My name is Nizar Abdul and I head Gold Medal Middle East and India. Today, NDC is the hot topic in our industry, and to talk about NDC, we have got Pradeep Nair, who is managing dnata air distributions and working on the NDC project. Before I take Pradeep on board, I think the first question for the audience on the live poll is on now. And ladies and gentlemen, please, we need your active participation. Thank you once again for joining with us. Pradeep, good morning and welcome on board.
Good morning, Nizar.
On behalf of my agency partners, I'm so grateful to have you here today.
Thank you so much, and it's an honor to be participating in this live event today, and look forward to a very interactive session.
Pradeep, I know you have been working on the NDC project for dnata over a period of time now.
Correct.
If I ask you, how that journey has been?
That's really good to start with, right? So if you'd asked me this 6 to 8 months back, I'm at the same place where you just opened in your session. I didn't have much knowledge. I knew there was NTC coming through. We are all talking about NTC. But I'm happy to say that I've got some knowledge in NTC today, which I can share. It won't be a lot of knowledge. I think I've tried to keep it as simple as possible today, and what really matters to us.
So Pradeep, that's a very good start, seriously. Honestly, I'm also looking forward for that, because we all, for my side, I read a lot in terms of NDC, but when it goes to the deep dive, there are a lot of technical side of it to understand.
Correct.
And that's what I'm looking forward. Before I take you forward, Pradeep, I think we asked the live poll and the answer is ready for us. The result is ready for us.
Okay.
Can I quickly go there and come back?
Sure, I think that will set us to my right.
Taking some time to come the result. So yeah, here we go. I think we asked two questions, Pradeep, in the beginning. The first one was the overview of what exactly they are looking at.
Okay.
So is that an overview about the NTC, or how does it benefit for us? I think I also voted. Indeed, I didn't vote for it, but I can see my interest over there.
Correct.
How is that going to benefit for me?
Excellent. I think that actually sets the stage for us to start. So what we will do is we will look at overview of NTC, and we'll also touch upon what are the benefits. There is I think 30% odd people looking at what are the benefits, right?
Yeah.
So if you allow me, can I put a poll question so that we are all on the same page? So it gives me a good start.
Please feel free, because that's what you said in the beginning. You know, there will be more and more poll questions.
Correct.
That will help us to run the show more interactive.
Correct.
Yep.
Can we have the first poll question, team, please? This is a very simple question, Nizar. It's asking what is NTC, right?
Yeah.
And we have put some basic answers to it. And some of it is what I was also thinking of, right? So I'm pretty much keeping it as simple as possible, as a layman would understand. I don't want, so technology is a difficult subject to get across to a larger crowd. I'm sure there are around 100 people listening to us today.
Absolutely,
At various agencies. So it's good to keep it quite at a basic level so that we understand. Good. So the answers are coming up. It's an API standard. It's a new system. Okay, that's
Not
good
bad,
to know.
actually. Good to know, because the understanding is very good.
Correct. So I think very good. So there is a lot of information in the market. That's what it is reflecting, right? So today, people are aware that it's an XML API standard by IATA.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't have to really go backwards in detail. We will start from there. I think most people are voting for the API answers, right? It's around 70-30 now. It's 63-25. Some people are even thinking it's a new system, which I was thinking, right? If you ask me, it's not a new system, but we will get to that. I think the poll quest answers have come up. What we will do now is I've put a couple of slides, very basic slides. Can we have the first slide, please? So I will start.
If I ask you about the slides, sorry, I didn't see that.
Mm-hmm.
So is that going to define what exactly NTC, or how are you?
Correct. So before we really get to NDC, maybe it's good to know how do we work today, what systems we have, and how are those systems managed, right?
I born in that for information, right? For the past 20-25 years.
Correct.
I'm into that system only. Yeah.
So that is what, if we understand that, then we understand how this new system is going to change our lives or change the way we work.
So basically we can connect it.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct. So I think the first slide is up on the screen, which says the first bit, right? Airline. So if you notice, schedule is published by an airline, not directly to a GDS. It goes to OAG. OAG is official airline guide.
Okay.
Right. So that is one party to the whole distribution channel. The second party is airline sends the fares to ATPCO, Airline Tariff Publishing Company.
That's stage 2.
Stage 2, right? Stage 2 or simultaneously, but second partner in the whole distribution cycle. Third is airline creates availability available through this. And I've put some $sign there.
Oh, sorry, I was about to ask you that. What is their interest?
This is cost heavy, right? This way of distribution today is cost heavy. So airlines spend around $18 to $22 for distribution today.
So sorry, because of that, multiple works are happening simultaneously.
Correct.
So one portion taken care by, for example, A, the other portion taken care by B.
Correct.
So everywhere there will be a cost involved.
Correct. And all of this flows into the GDSs. So I put the primary GDSs of Sabre, Travelport, Amadeus, right? So these GDSs will get that, then it goes to a travel company. We look at availability. If I give you some background to this, all of the GDSs work in a messaging system called EDIFACT, which was developed during World War II for the use of military.
Okay.
Right? And 30-40 years we are still using it. Can you believe that? So there has to be a disruptor. That disruptor had come in 2012 by way of NDC, but it didn't take much steam. It didn't take speed. But now airlines are actually noticing they have bandwidth because everything is slowed down. I think that's the only best side of Corona, right?
Yes.
I'm not saying Corona is good, but that's the only side. So everybody is now sitting back and then saying, okay, what should I do by airline and by travel agent? How do I reduce my cost? So cost of distribution is the third largest cost for an airline after fuel and aircraft leasing. right?
Seriously. Okay.
So the primary objective is to reduce cost of distribution of NTC from an airline perspective.
Okay.
If we talk about how it is going to work, should I get to that now?
Before that, you rightly said, the system invented a couple of years back. You said the Second World War time or something. It took almost 40 years for us to think about how good, if I sit myself in an airline place, how good I can save my cost.
True.
And you rightly said, Pradeep, it's the third largest cost.
Correct.
In the distribution side of it.
True.
Amazing. So, if I ask you, how is that going to change moving forward?
So we already understood there is a slower process currently in place. It takes 2 to 3 weeks if you see on this diagram. You also must have gone through this, right?
Yeah.
You get a special fare from airline, and it doesn't reflect in your GDS.
It reflect, but hell lot of time. Sorry.
Correct.
Yeah.
So a minimum is 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. Right?
I get 2 weeks. I'm happy.
Correct.
It takes sometimes more than that.
Slow speed of market, right? Speed to market, and there is heavy cost for the whole way of distribution currently now. So what happens is in the new way of working, can we have the next slide, please? In the new way of working, if you notice now, the first block will shrink, right?
Okay.
That's on board, right?
I can't see that heavy dollar pouch over
There is no dollar.
First thing I catch.
Actually, instead of dollar, there's low cost of distribution, right? The airline, all of this data, before they go to an OAG or ATPCO, they have to maintain in their PSS, which is passenger service systems.
Okay.
So that is already existing. So what is happening now is, from that system, from the airline direct system, it is going to an IT company or an aggregator company, Ntc Aggregator. I have actually put IT aggregators, Ntc aggregators, and also have put all of the GDSs. We can't discount GDSs from this space. They are also building Ntc connectors, right?
Okay.
So it directly comes from airline to the travel agency.
So here, if I go back myself on the previous slide, we had 3 to 4 middlemen over there.
Correct.
I just call middleman for layman language.
Correct.
So, but when we look at NDC, straight away from airline to either an aggregator or to a travel agent.
Yes. So through an aggregator, it is coming to you. So whatever happens, the messaging is direct with an airline. So there is no intermediary taking the message and translating to an airline. So the message is direct. Why we need an Ntc aggregator is, these are APIs, right? Like we saw the answers the travel community has polled, is it's an XML API. To consume an API, you need a front office system. Luckily enough, you have iTravel.
Yeah.
Right? So iTravel will consume this API, and seamlessly your consultants or consumers will see GDS content alongside NDC content. That's what we are planning, right? So for that, you need an IT company. For a smaller company or another company who does not have an iTravel or a front office system, they need some kind of a technology. You cannot consume this into thin air, right? It has to be a system. So that is where IT guys come in place, the Ntc aggregators. So aggregators, what they do is they will connect all of the airlines and give one single connection. I think you have that in iTravel.
Yeah,
right? You have a single API out.
We do have, yeah.
So that is how it's going to work in the future.
So before we move ahead, Pradeep, I have a question here. You said GDS is costing way high.
True.
I just want to clarify on that point, why it is so high in that aspect?
So there are multiple parties involved. We just saw. To understand the magnitude of the cost, if we bring the next slide up, I think that flows into little more details, right?
Okay. So
So all of this, if you see, Nizar, we have kept it very simple, right? Yeah. These are knowledge which is available in public domain, and we as travel companies have got notification from these airlines saying that, look, if you go to GDS and if you book my content through GDS, I'm going to charge you X amount of dollars, which is a surcharge, right?
Yes.
That is the charge they are incurring. Currently.
Okay.
Right? That or less or more, right? So if you see Lufthansa, they do $21 per ticket. That is huge amount of money. $21, right? But there's an increase from 1st of October. It was 16 or 19 and it came to 21, right? So these are the costs they're incurring, but at the same time, they're saying, come to LS online, you don't have the chance. So they are discouraging us to go through GDS to get their content, encouraging us go direct. So go direct is Lufthansa.com or Lufthansa Ntc. So that is where the cost is coming into play, right? So there is huge cost in the whole. So airlines want to reduce this cost and pass the benefit of that cost to end consumer.
So if I ask you an example here, currently, I will take the Lufthansa example here.
Correct.
They have $21 cost, okay? Whether they incur the cost or pass on to the travel agents.
Correct.
Yeah, somewhere it is going in sitting, right?
True.
So if I take that as an example, we as gold medal is taking the Ntc for Lufthansa for that matter. Yeah, one side I will have, let's say, the fare $1,000.
Correct.
Other side Ntc, I will have that 1,000 less some good amount of saving over there.
Correct.
Good. So that's a very good thing to know. So, but other than the cost element of it, can you take out some other benefits of Ntc?
So I think the time is limited. What we have done is we can't. So there are multiple IT related benefits. There are multiple commercial benefits, right? I think in this discussion we will focus on the commercial benefits. So I've categorized into two: airline benefits, what airlines are benefiting, and what travel agencies are benefiting. So it's just not that travel agencies are benefiting or just airlines are benefiting.
Being very honest, my first, second, and third important point to know what exactly I as an agent.
Yes, I know. So we will get to that.
Yeah.
So before that, we also must understand everybody playing a part in this are benefiting.
Absolutely.
If there is no benefit, there is no win-win. This is not a solution.
Very true.
Correct.
Very true. Yeah.
So can we have the next slide up, please? So this is particularly to the airline.
Yeah.
So first is cost of distribution. So if they save this $21 each time they sell through NDC channel or a direct connected channel, what they are doing is they are bringing that benefit to you as a travel company. So some airlines are paying NDC coupon bonus, right? I know that's a burning issue out in the market on how do we manage that. I think in this process today we will address that. Second is speed to market. If airline thinks that they need to push a fare to the market, they can do in a couple of minutes.
Very interesting. Yeah.
So if you go online, I'm sure you've logged on to Air Arabia, Fly Dubai, Lufthansa, Emirates. You see fare families, right?
Absolutely.
If the airline wants to make a change, it reflects immediately.
Very true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in GDS world. We just saw that. Right? It has to go to multiple parties. It will take 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks. Right? So by the time the opportunity is lost. So there is a big opportunity cost in this, and speed to market is really, really high. So in fare families, you've seen the highest fare is very flexible. So they're able to demonstrate that in a nice way when you log in as a customer. So that is what in the way of NDC showing to us. So whatever system, so there's no system right around NDC, but in iTravel, so I want to talk particularly about iTravel. iTravel actually show those fare families once it is connected.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? So then your customers, either the travel executives or travel managers who are there in the call today, they can see this and they can choose. Now, it's all, the third point is very, very important, right? The current way of selling, let's say I go into a GDS, I look up availability.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I look availability and then look at the fare and I make a sale. I add a customer name. I say Nizar Abdul.
Yeah.
Airline does not know who's Nizar Abdul.
Naturally
It's
not.
unknown shopping today.
Until you put your skyward number.
Correct. The moment we input the frequent flyer number, that is when they know, but it is too late. They already sold you a fare and they could have actually sold something else to you. Right? If we do pass frequent flyer number at the beginning, just imagine what can happen. And that is possible in NDC.
Wow.
Right? In NDC way of working, if our customer database is managed well, I think that is one building block towards getting NDC right. If your users have customers frequent flyer number stored, that can be sent from the first search itself.
First entry itself, it will
Correct.
pass on to the airline.
Correct.
So let's say if I just reiterate on that part, Pradeep. Today, you rightly said, I go and search on Fly Dubai or Air Arabia for any airline for that matter, and I can see, a lot of add-ons, ancillaries over there. You select your seat, you select your meal, X, Y, Z, which currently on GDS, we can do that, but it's not a normal flow over there.
Correct.
On the other side, making revenue on the ancillary, through this, and bringing that into your NDC bit of it.
Correct.
That is going to be,
You have taken one step forward. I will hold there, and what I have put on the board is it's an offer. In today's world, GDS gives a fare.
Okay.
Right? Just a fare.
Absolutely.
Anything else you need to purchase. So what else can you do? You can buy a seat number, or you can buy a meal, or the others SSRs. You can like a request for a wheelchair, all of that, right? Unaccompanied. In NDC, the research goes. Airline knows from the time search comes through, it is for Nizar Abdul. Nizar likes a window seat.
Okay.
And he likes vegetarian meal when he flies.
Absolutely.
So that is in your record, right? In your frequent flyer membership number record. They'll actually send you an offer. It's called NDC offer. There is no fare, right?
Okay.
And it becomes a personalized shopping. Then the consultant will say, look, Nizar, this is the offer we have.
Cool.
Right?
Cool.
So that offer, you will be delighted. So who does not want to be recognized, right?
Personalization.
If I walk into a store and if they call me by name saying, look, Pradeep, great, last time you bought this.
You sold all
I would love it, right? So that is what is going to happen in the way of known shopping, which is not there in NDC today. That will come through. So those are the benefits of NDC for an airline.
So in that case, Pradeep, you are saying that the beauty, I should use that word, beauty of personalization. And you rightly said, the minute we step into any shop, and
Correct.
the minute you get an eye contact, good.
Yes.
When someone calls with your name,
Correct.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And if someone say, Pradeep, last time this is what you bought from us, yeah.
True.
So would you like to try a different color XYZ?
Correct.
You are already sold, right?
Excellent, yeah.
So the same way, if the minute a customer comes for a reservation, and the airline is sharing all those kind of information, saying that, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, he might ignore 2
Correct.
or 3, but there is an opportunity for the 4th and 5th
Correct.
side of it.
That
That's on the airline side of it. Now,
before we go there, ancillaries, we touch upon ancillaries, right? That is where you have an opportunity, airline also to sell you ancillaries.
correct.
So airline can actually push. So airline knows every time from the past records, every time they offered you a priority boarding, you bought that. So airline system will then send you a special fare on priority boarding. Today, all of these ancillaries, airport lounge, so you don't have to be a business class or first class passenger to go into a lounge, right? So airline thinks, oh, this person always have bought lounge pass when I offered. So they will offer you a lounge pass. They'll offer you a Wi-Fi on board if you're a frequent flyer. So all that becomes ancillary merchandising and can be rich content branding. So rich content branding actually is called RCB. Just now IPL just got over. Though RCB did not make it through as one of my favorite teams.
Seriously?
But RCB is synonymous, right? So when I think about RCB, that is RCB. But in today's terms, is RCB's rich content branding. Airline actually can brand and bring those images to the customer. This is how a meal look like. This is how a TV screen will look like. And this is how your seat will look like. So that is possible today in the websites of the airline. Not through a GDS. Once you have NDC content come through your front office, like iTravel will have this. So if your travel consultant's customer is sitting across, they can actually turn the screen and say, look, sir, this is how the meal will look like. Would you like to take this meal? Or these are the seat pictures. Do you like these cabins?
Music to my ears.
Correct.
Honestly. Yeah. So good one. So I love airlines, and I'm happy to know that I'm making a lot of savings on that. A lot of features are coming on board.
Correct.
Those are very good to know. Yeah, but end of the day, Pradeep, I'm an agent. Yeah. And my first priority, how is that going to get benefit for an agency?
True. So since we are getting excited about airlines,
Seriously, yeah.
so airlines are excited, they are spending money, they are upping their game on IT, and they're bringing NDC to life, right? NDC is live.
Yeah.
Why I'm so happy today is we are not talking about a concept.
Okay.
This is live.
Hmm.
If somebody asks, oh, this is all nice to hear, but when are we getting it? Right? We'll come to that. So can we have the next slide, please? That is where everybody wants to understand what are the benefits, right?
Absolutely. No, the slide is not.
So next slide is for travel companies, right? We will get speed to market. We understood that.
Okay.
We will get special fares.
Mhm.
So less of surcharge through NDC channel. So if you are in a place where all of the agents are selling fares with $21 surcharge,
Okay. Okay.
and you get to a point where you can sell without the surcharge, just imagine how many more clients will you get.
No doubt about it.
Correct?
No doubt about it.
So that is where we need to get. So you're not, today you're selling a ticket. Most of the time, 99% of the time, you're just selling a ticket.
Drive ticket, I should say.
Just a drive, right?
Absolutely.
We will keep this screen for some time, Tim, before we move on. I want to spend a little more time on this screen.
Okay.
So in NDC world, it's called prime booking flow.
All right.
When you look for an availability, you make a sale, you issue a ticket. Through that process, you can actually create a workflow where you make a booking, then automatically it prompts you for ancillary sales.
Mhm.
It will prompt you for an airport
Lounge.
lounge or a priority pass or a priority check-in. So you're actually getting a benefit or an advantage to sell more to the same customer.
Including insurance, X, Y, Z.
Everything.
Okay.
So whatever products, that is the beauty of an XML API way of working, right? If you have a product of your own, you can push that product to this life cycle, this booking flow, right?
Yeah.
So you're not looking for new customers every day, you're actually making more money from the same customer. So what happens today? Passenger picks this ticket from you. He goes out, and all of these purchases are done at different touch points today.
True.
They might buy a lounge pass, they might buy a meal on board.
For the baggage maximum.
Correct? So they are buying either from you or from a third party.
Correct.
This gives you the opportunity to bring everything to your workflow. So you're actually capturing all those purchases the customer will do through your system, through your purchases, through your sell, right? So that brings a lot of opportunities for you to make extra money.
So basically, you're personalizing everything based on the customer's needs
Correct.
and wants.
Correct.
From the time of booking itself.
Correct. And airlines have now started filing fares which is only available through NDC channel. So this is live now, right? If you go to Lufthansa.
So you're locking me in NDC now.
Right.
So
NDC is the new way, right?
Absolutely.
In 5 years from now, we should be sitting back and thinking, oh, we were part of that journey. And we'll be very happy to think of that. So NDC only fares, Lufthansa has a fare which has only hand baggage, cabin bag.
True. Yep.
Which is not available in GDS.
So it's only available on NDC as of now.
NDC channel. So if a customer is going for a day,
Okay.
1 day meeting, it doesn't need a 30 kilo baggage, right? But if you don't have that NDC channel, you cannot sell that fare.
You can't sell that.
Right? Customer is saying, oh, I called another agent, he's offering me this 2,700, you're offering me 3,200. I'm just saying for an example, right? Those are just ballpark numbers. So that is another opportunity for you to grab the customer back, right? So we are always now, till now we're talking about how do you make more money from the same customer, right? I didn't even go to say how many more new customers you will get. So the other point is fully automated sales and reporting process. We'll come to that in a bit.
Okay.
So make more revenue from the same customer. Now, all of this, what does it lead to? It will bring more customers to you. Right?
This is what the point, especially on the retail market. My audience are more or less, they do have a mixed bag. Corporate business, very good if you can customize your corporate traveler's profile in NDC.
Correct.
Without even asking that. That's the first thing. Second point, what you rightly said, Pradeep, that how good you can bring the incremental business, repeated customer base.
Correct.
So let's say Nizar is a customer. Nizar is a customer going to a travel agency. Everything is there for me. on top of that, Nizar is traveling for a business trip. I do not need to carry my 40 kilo baggage or 2 pieces,
Correct.
whatever it is. There is a fare which is not available with XYZ. 101% unlocked when you are traveling.
Correct.
So that's a key take. But I think in that session you were just based on automation side of it, Pradeep.
Correct.
Can
So
you
I've
please-
actually put a couple of points for that.
Okay.
So I wrote saying that fully automated process, reduce average handling time, increase process efficiency. So it all relates to one, right?
Okay.
So this actually flows in nicely to our next question, right? Can we have that poll question, please? I didn't want to get to an answer to that. I just want to understand what is happening today, right? For a reissue or a refund,
Okay.
right? The question is on board. If everybody can please poll. If you're not logged in yet, please log into slido.com, use the code on the screen, and please poll. So this will give us enough data and reasons to be happy in the next few slides. I think we will get happy. I was also told that a lot of people are joining in from different parts of the world. Even there are people who have sacrificed the beaches in Goa and joining for the screen time.
Seriously?
Right? Yeah.
That's a good thing. Pradeep.
Very good. So I think the next few slides will be really happy slides for all of them.
I'm ready for that.
Yeah. So I think for a reissue, so this is a reissue or a refund question, right? How much time do you take for a reissue or a refund?
Yeah.
Most of the people are saying 5 to 10 or 10 to 15 minutes, right?
More than that.
10 to 15 minutes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So this is exactly similar to the percentages we had earlier. Let's say between 10 and 15 minutes. So that is precious amount of time. If you're a travel manager, if you run a company, do you want your consultant to spend 15 minutes to reissue a ticket?
I would rather prefer
Very
them to
unproductive,
handle the customer.
right? They can actually do something more productive, right? Sell more products to the same customer or get a new customer.
Rather put into the customer face.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's when I said you can reduce your average handling time. So all of this becomes part of your handling time, correct? But all of this, even I was a consultant, right? And we have done this many times, and it was really hard when I was doing this. Nowadays, at least there are some GDS programs which make it a little more easier the life. But we always think of something when we do reissue and refund, right? ADMs.
Yeah.
Whether am I doing it right or will I get an ADM from an airline? So the next question is on that. So after which we will go to how NTC can manage this for you. Can we have that question, please? So this is an important question. If you understand this, a lot of questions around your GDS income and how do I make more money, all of this will settle by in the next few slides.
Okay.
So that actually brings us to understanding this.
Okay.
So we are asking the question, how much is your cost of ADM to your bottom line?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, you can answer for yourself.
Seriously, it's
Yeah.
not, for me, I think I will still wait for the answer to come. But if you ask me, it's not less than 4 to 5% in the real scenario.
True. And in the way you have your margins set and the competition in the market, do you really want to drain that kind of money down the drain?
No way.
Right?
Especially at this stage.
If there is an opportunity, what will you do? You will save that money, correct?
100%.
It's pure. So instead of you worrying about a $3 or $4 from a GDS income, you make your processes more efficient, reduce your ADMs, handle more customers, sell more products, make more money. So your $3 or $2 or $4 is very insignificant. Now you see the point.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
how do we get to that? So most of the people are saying more than 5%. This is really alarming, right? Some are 1 to 2%. So I think based on the size of the company, this is. So more or less, it's between 1 to 3%. If I put an average to this, it's between 3%, right?
I agree with that. You know why, Pradeep? The current situation, the airline rules, terms and conditions are so different.
It's complex, right?
Very complex.
Correct.
And even if you are a very expert person, the amount of error what you end up making while doing the refunds or reissue?
I have made mistakes also, right?
For me
I've got a
also-
lot of idioms.
Yeah, that's the only area where I don't even criticize my team.
Correct.
Because I know it's a very complex kind of thing.
Correct.
So we always appreciate them doing that good job.
True. So I think it's with, if I take an average, it's around 3%. If I look at it, 50% says in one answer. So I want to actually give out this. This will be real music to your ears,
100%.
and all of those people who are there, operation managers, travel consultants, please pay attention to these two screens. In NDC world, this is what we are bringing in iTravel. Can we have that screen, please? Next one.
Oh, wow.
You can reissue your tickets in 3 clicks.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
And if everybody has digested this so far, then let's do the next one.
But if I ask you that, sorry, 3 clicks, how
Yes.
it is possible? How it is possible, Pradeep, in that?
It is. So what happens? So refund is 4 clicks,
Oh my goodness.
right? This is where I take you back to the second slide.
Okay.
The communication is between airline and the travel company. There is no intermediary,
Okay. Okay.
right? So whatever comes through as a calculation is directly coming from the airline.
Okay.
Right.
There is no mediator.
So the airline is taking responsibility of that calculation. Now, the next slide is the most beautiful slide I've ever made, right? The simplest and the most happiest slide. This is what it is. So all of this doesn't lead to this. Does not lead to idioms,
Oh, man.
right?
Seriously.
If I'm looking after an operations of like 10 people working under me, this is just music to my ears.
You got me there,
Right.
Seriously.
So you have actually saved your 3% cost.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is your saving. So instead of you being worried about your GDS income, which is not there going to stay, right? GDS incomes will fade away. In 2 to 3 years, it will fade away. Whatever coupon bonus we are getting in NDC will fade away. We have to really look, Nizar, to look at, actively look at more ways of selling more products to the same customer, getting new customers, reducing your average handling time, increase processes, and increase efficiency of your front line. That is what we should do.
Excellent. Excellent.
So all of this will bring that. Now, how is it possible? I just answered. It's all coming from the airline. So airline actually is sending you a reissue data, whether there is an additional collection or no additional collection. Some airlines actually refunding also some money.
Oh.
So issuing of the miscellaneous charges order or the EDM, now it is called, right? All of that,
GDS
yeah,
wastage.
all of that is gone away.
Yeah.
Then there is no ATM coming back from the airline because the calculation actually came from them.
Then from the airline side.
From the airline side, from the airline revenue
So there
management
is no point
system.
of sending an
Correct.
ATM later on.
Correct. So that is where there is no ATM. So you have actually saved money by adopting NDC.
Very interesting insight, Pradeep, in that aspect, because what happens today, the total manpower, it may vary for agency to agency. I think more than 40 to 50% is used for the after sales service. And what
Correct.
exactly happening in that after sales service? Either you do the reissue, very complex. I did a couple of years back. If you ask me to do it now, sorry, I'm out of touch. Yeah.
Correct.
Or the refund side of it. Again, the current situation, there are a hell lot of refunds pending. Those are the challenges what we face. So if I just reiterate what you rightly said, these are the things where we are going to gain out of NDC, saying that no ADMs, music to ears.
Correct.
You can utilize your manpower in a more proactive area, like you customer facing, sales, XYZ,
Correct.
again adding a lot of value into that. So I'm ready. Yeah. So when do you think, in your experience, you have been working with NDC very closely, when do you think NDC is going to come live?
Okay, that's a good question because in this part of the world, the trigger is, or when will people start doing something about NDC or actively thinking about NDC is when the big carriers announce NDC, like in Emirates, Etihad, Oman Air, Saudi, right? The moment they announce NDC, there'll be a rush to get NDC content, technology, then the content, everything else. The best part for you and your customer base is we have already started this work.
Okay.
So, God willing, we will get NDC live in iTravel by end of March. Right? We already started work. like I said earlier, these are not just concepts. We're not talking in the air, right? This is live working modules, and we are connecting NDC into iTravel now.
Okay.
So your community will get NDC content, God willing, by end of March. That's what we are looking at. And by which time, if one of these biggest airlines goes NDC way, if they announce, like in Etihad or Emirates, Emirates announced few of the NDC initiatives
Absolutely.
recently.
I
I
saw
think they are also getting ready. Etihad is getting ready. Saudi is already NDC. Oman is NDC. So, like Singapore Airlines, Lufthansa, BA, American Airlines, Qantas. So, all of that will get connected through iTravel. They don't have to go anywhere else. Just one single screen. You can see GS content, you can see NDC content. And I'm pretty sure that all of your agencies and travel community will pick NDC because that is where the benefit
No doubt
is.
about it, Pradeep, in that aspect. But here you said, let's say, Emirates got a plan to launch the NTC. On the other side, Etihad also got a plan. Yeah,
correct.
Their own time, right? So
Yeah.
Etihad also got a plan, right? So if I think about the NDC in a normal scenario, there is investment. Has to be there. I mean,
correct.
When you think about a bigger player in the market, I'm not diminishing the value of a small travel agency, but everyone cannot invest on technology, right?
True.
So you rightly explained to us, one side airline to you. So when I'm a small agency, I want to get 10, 15, 100 airlines on board. I can't invest that much.
True.
So how to take it forward in that aspect?
So lucky enough, we have a front office system, which we mentioned. If an agency doesn't have a front office system, there are challenges, right? Because you cannot consume an API if you don't have a front office system. For the community, let's talk about gold medal and your community. Your community doesn't have to invest any money.
Seriously?
Correct? You have iTravel, content is coming through
Suddenly
iTravel.
they are utilizing iTravel.
Correct?
Yeah.
Who's logging into iTravel, post this rollout, gets NDC.
Okay.
So zero investment. Right?
Zero
investment.
Yeah.
Correct? Now, if we have agencies who are not subscribed to your iTravel system, you can give an API out if they have a front office system out.
We can.
Or you can give a white label solution. All of this is possible. So I was just reading a report on McKinsey.
Okay.
By 2030, $48 billion worth of ancillaries are to be sold, right? Which actually means you can make extra revenue of $7 per passenger. Where we are worried about our $3, $2. You actually have a minimum average of $7 to be made.
That's mindset, right?
Correct.
You have to into that for over a period of time.
True.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is how all the travel managers who are in today here, all travel supervisors, managers, or travel agency owners, we need to think what is that changing, right? That this is how we will change.
Pradeep, surely I will have a couple of more questions, but knowing the time in mind, I think this is the time I should give for audience to ask the questions.
True.
And please, we will pick few questions and try to answer as much as possible.
Sure.
Please, can I have those questions on board?
Okay, I think we will take that. So there are some of them coming up. If I read the first one, is BSP involved in this process to source NDC? That's a very good question, though I didn't go into details of technical side. So I will relate it back to how it works today. You get a PCC from an airline for a GDS. To get the airline content in that PCC, you have to request the airline. It's called plating. Today. Same thing will happen. The content is yours. You have to request to an airline. So in iTravel, you will enable content and it will flow through BSP.
Okay.
If it is a travel agency who's not taking your content, or just taking NDC technology, they'll have to reach out to each airline on their IATA. The airline will enable the content.
But if it is through
you,
gold medal,
nothing.
It is,
They don't have to worry about anything. Content will just flow through, and it is going through BSP. I think this question is more for an agency who wants to manage it directly. I think I'll look at the.
Can we have the next question over here, please?
Next question when it comes.
Previous one,
To what extent does NDC eliminate ADMs? 100%, right? If it is sold and purchased and serviced through NDC channel, 100% there is no ADM. We'll look at the next question, please. Those are interesting questions.
Very interesting questions, but we are running short of time.
Will I still get continuing my discounts, deals from Gold Medal? I think that's for you.
For you. So I think the one whoever asked that question, yes, we are there. I mean, that is one of my KPIs. We were the one who introduced the cut and pay model in the market. So similarly, the discount will still continue. I think I hope I answered that question.
Okay, so I think this is maybe the second last question. Looking at the time. Is NDC program accessed by non-IATA agents as well, or it's IATA agents? In particular, you have to have an IATA number if you are directly wanting to source NDC. That is how it is programmed today. But for sure, Nizar, this is just an evolving phase.
Absolutely.
Later, airlines might open up, right? But for your community, they don't have to really worry about that. Just subscribe to iTravel. iTravel will have NDC content.
Pradeep, thank you very much. I think we have taken, just keeping the time in mind.
Yeah, I think we'll close that.
Time to wind up. Before that, Pradeep, thank you very much. It's absolutely a lot of insight on that before joining in this conversation. For me, NDC is something a new distribution, channel. But on the other side, going through the whole details, a lot of insight. Surely, I will request you to join once again just before the launch. Yeah, that will have more, understanding.
I'll be more than happy to do that.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, I think for me, the key takeaway from this session, Pradeep, if I summarize, first and foremost, speed to the market. Yeah, I want to elaborate on that, but again, keeping the time in mind, I don't go in detail, but that is something we all love to have in our day-to-day life. Second, the new revenue stream. As I said, 25 years working as a travel manager or whatever it is.
Correct.
I always worried about my GDS income, but I never bothered about how much addition I'm going to make it. Third, and the most important thing, the process efficiency. Absolutely fantastic. If you take me, Nizar, give me that one point if you like it, 0 ADM. I want to elaborate on that, but unfortunately I can't do that because of this. No ADM, that's really good to know. Now, please, let me check my audience understanding on this. This is where we will ask you the quiz. And please, I will give you the ground rules over here. The question will be there on board for 30 seconds, but doesn't mean that you can take 30 seconds because the prize, the winner will walk away, whoever is answering first. So be quick and we all wait for that answer. Team, is that question on the board? Cool. I think there are a couple of the good prices, and my team will contact with the prices later on. But okay, I started getting those questions on board. Is it taking time? Yeah. Okay.
I think maybe I will take this opportunity to thank you, Gold Medal team. I'm sure there is a lot of work at the back, and all of those teams who are behind the scenes for putting this up very nicely and very seamless. Though it looked very seamless, I'm sure there is a lot of hard work gone behind this.
You just nailed it, Pradeep, because first and foremost, this is something, a new technology.
Correct.
See, we all are very much acquainted with the Teams meeting and those kind of things, but switching our one side to another one, and especially the subject itself is a very new kind of thing. If you ask me, the technology, yes and no. How that things, it's a real hard work there.
Yeah, and I'm sure we could put a question to ask. How was the session, right? Maybe then gauge, right?
Okay.
So we will do that. I think because initially we asked, yeah. So maybe we can just ask those questions and say, did this really make sense, right? Because when we normally do this, we have an audience sitting in front of us and we can understand the pulse, whether they understood.
Correct.
So this is very important for us to understand whether whatever we tried here, this is the first, and whether we can
audience
understanding, how much did they understand, and maybe clear enough, and we just touched upon the basics. So
okay, I think the answer, the results started coming.
Results are coming up.
So
let's
let me go closer because okay. What does NTC
okay, so
stand
I
for?
think the quiz has come up, so we will finish that, and then towards the end we will ask the question of how the session went. Correct?
Okay.
I think even with the quizzes, I think we will understand whether we were effective enough. Nizar.
Yeah,
No?
absolutely. We can ask that. Okay. Have we managed to get the winner, the team?
Not yet. The question
Not
is
yet,
coming up.
Can I answer that, please?
The first one? No.
First one, so that I will walk away with the prize.
I think most of them answered the right answer. It's new distribution capability.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so the winner.
Not yet.
Not yet.
There are two more questions, I think.
Okay.
So the first question is gone through. Second question has come up.
Yeah.
Second is what is Lufthansa Group's GDS surcharge amount?
Okay.
We did touch upon that today.
Yeah.
So we will just wait for the answers. I think most of the answers are in the right direction. I can see that.
It means Pradeep, they really paid attention to the discussion. That's what.
So there are two ways, right? That is the very good point to start, and there is eagerness in the market.
Yeah.
Right. Now that we are getting very close to NTC, there is eagerness in the market. People want to know more, and the level of understanding is really, really good.
Right? Absolutely.
From last year to now, if you ask me, in the conferences I have taken part, this is really good.
Very true. Very true. So.
And everybody's answered this right. Not even one single person went to the wrong answer. This is really good.
Excellent. So
Right.
all the
I think
questions
the
are
last
on.
question has come up.
Okay. What is that?
The last question.
When do you? Okay. Let me come closer. When will NTC enable for the air travel? Okay.
Yeah. You don't give the answer yet.
I think we said that.
We did.
We said that during the
I did say
discussion.
that a couple of times. So we will see how.
That also answered. I think most of them answered correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim, how long it will take to get the winner's name? Okay, it's coming
So winners, the leaderboard has come up.
Okay.
Right. It is just coming up on the screen for everybody.
Okay. Cool. It's a small screen.
Surprise.
Yeah. So can the first winner is Vaivesh. Vaivesh. Can I have a big round of applause for Vaivesh? And yeah. So the second one is Mariam Raja. Oh, we got a new winner over here,
very good.
which is Mariam Raja,
Yeah.
who answered in 59 seconds.
Excellent.
Third,
Come on, Mariam!
and the third one, Abdul Rashid MK. Good job, guys. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, good job. And thank you once again for participating. And team, over to you.
Are we asking the last bit now on the whole section? Or we?
Audience, trade partners, thank you so much. Really appreciate that in this testing times, you've actually supported us with this event. I really hope that this event was of information to you, and hopefully by the next quarter, we'll make it more relevant. Thank you once again for being such a great audience and partners to us and participating so nicely for this event. Our teams will be contacting you for the winners, right? Thank you, everybody.